Gratitude and abundance. This is Infinite Vibes here to help raise your awareness. Today we're going to be talking about the chakra points in your human design system. So your chakra points, what they basically are is they are an accumulation of specific meridian points that formulate an electromagnetic motor, okay? And it creates a charge. It's made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. So it emits negative charges, positive charges, and neutral charges. In the gene keys, we talk about these as the gifts, the shadows, and the siddhis. So your highest state, your shadow state, and your neutral state, all right? Now, these ions are consistently moving and formulating these charges. And when you have specific meridian points that connect, it creates gates. When these gates connect, it activates the specific chakra points. And these specific chakra points are your emitters and your receivers. So this is where you will basically either put out information into the environment around you, or you will be receiving information from the environment around you. Now, compared to the conventional chakra points, right? In the Hindu system, there's about 7 of them. In the human design system, there's 9 of them. Now, you need to remember that human design is an accumulation of the I Ching, the Kabbalah, astrology, and various other spiritual practices that have been accumulated over time, all put together into one to give you a cosmic blueprint. Okay, so even though it was recently invented and put together, it's actually an accumulation of all these ancient practices from the beginning of time brought together for you to create this system that helps you have your cosmic blueprint. So when we're talking about these transmitters, right, we can start from the crown motor. So from the crown electromagnetic motor, you're picking up information from the collective circuitry, or you're putting information out from the collective circuitry. You go into the ajna, which is your third eye, and this is where you have your conceptualization. So you're either conceptualizing from the collective as a receiver, or you're conceptualizing by emitting these thoughts out into the environment for other people to pick up on. Then you have your throat motor. So your throat motor is your manifestation motor, okay? So where you speak, things tend to happen. So if you have an active throat motor, you want to be very mindful of the words and the choices that you make. It's also an action-based motor as well, because you usually speak and then you follow that up with specific actions. Then we go down to the identity center, the G center, which is basically your liver. All right, now the G center is not the liver, sorry, it's the diaphragm within your design. Now the G center basically is your identity center, okay? We call it the identity center because some people have defined G centers and they have a very fixed identity. Other people have the ability to metamorphosize and shapeshift, depending on the environment that you go into. So if it's undefined, you placing yourself in a specific environment will definitely help you out in regards to molding what it is that you want to have happen. And then it being undefined it being defined means that you have the ability to shapeshift. However, when you do go back into these into your own aura, you're more likely to go back to being in a neutral space. Like, you're more likely to revert back to how you actually are, depending on what gate you have activated within the G center. So that could be the alpha, the channel of inspiration, or the prodigal channel, or any of the other channels that are within the diaphragm sphere within the G center. Then we go into the solar plexus. The solar plexus is all about the emotional centers. So the solar plexus is all about emitting emotions, putting energy in motion, or receiving energy into motion. So if it's undefined, you're more likely to be an empath. And if it is defined, then you're more likely to be putting energy out into the environment around you. Then we go into the splenic motor. Splenic motor is all about health. So the healthier you are, the stronger your splenic motor is going to be. The unhealthier you are, the weaker it will be. The benefits of having a strong splenic motor is the simple fact that you're going to be able to have a very powerful instinct. You're going to have a very powerful sense of direction. A lot of people with weak health issues, with a lot of weak spleen motors, usually have health issues, and they're usually terrible with a sense of direction. Then we can drop down into the sacral. The sacral chakra is creative, expansive energy. It's also sexual energy. So however you're able to create, the reason why you're able to create so much, or the reason why you have so much energy and why it's excessive, is because of that extra energy you get from your sacral electromagnetic motor. And then we'll drop down into the root motor, and the root motor is all about evolution. All right, so if you have a defined root motor, you're consistently trying to be better in life. You're consistently trying to prove yourself. You're pushing yourself to the limit. You're constantly trying to evolve in life. If you have an undefined root motor, you might find that flowing through life is a lot easier than going the other way. So that's a brief summary of the 9 electromagnetic motors. If you guys are interested and you like this content, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Check out the link in the description below, and be sure to hit me up. I can go through your human design, your cosmic blueprint, talk about more about how you can properly utilize these motors to affect your life. And remember, everybody's cosmic blueprint is different, so you definitely want to get yours. You can get it for free, but if you want help reading it, hit me up. And if you also need guidance in regards to your relationship, your business, or your personal life, I can definitely help you out with that in regards to utilizing your cosmic blueprint. All right, I look forward to connecting with you all. Praises and shares. I'll talk to you for peace.